All right, and we are live. What's going on? What's happening? I'm gonna keep this short, you guys, but we're gonna be doing these on a regular basis. So get used to them. You guys do me a favor. Go ahead and follow, subscribe, hit that like button. You know what I mean, and share and drop a comment. I want to hear from y'all. I appreciate the ones that have been commenting so far. You guys hit that like button. Let's go. Listen, when you're a masculine loner, you have to move in silence. Tell no one nothing, and also put out a few false narratives, right? Just a few narratives that have nothing to do with anything, just so you can throw off the enemy. Allow me to explain. Grand Rising, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time zone or time frame you guys are checking me out from. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like, save and share. Listen, when you're a masculine loner and you're moving in silence and you're working with God and you're in flow, this makes a lot of people jealous. It can make people around you jealous, strangers jealous, people you never met before jealous. It's something about people being in flow and being focused and not worried about the world going on around them. It really triggers people. It makes their butt crack itch. And haters, people that can't stand you and the way you move, but want proximity to you, they want to know your information. They want to know as much as they can. These people are not concerned. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They're just data collecting. And I like to call these people data collectors because in the stories you're telling them, they're not listening to the story. They're looking for the negative things that you did or how it affected you or whatnot. So they got that data now, they can run with it and they can build narratives off of it. They can go tell other people certain things, or if someone's speaking about something, now they can weave you into the conversation based off of the information that you gave them. Keep up with me. Now, this isn't, what I'm saying, nothing that they're doing intentionally. These people are used to gossiping. These people are used to making themselves look better by making other people look like, they're not doing what they claim that they're doing. This is a way, of self-preservation. You got to understand. They need to preserve their psyche because watching you move the way that you do makes them feel like they're not doing enough. They didn't do enough. So they're listening into you whenever you're speaking about certain things so they can collect negative data. So that way they can say things about you. "Ah, he ain't so great. She ain't so great. They told me blah blah blah," or they're going to be struggling with this and that based off of what they told me. They'll build false narratives in their head. They'll come up with situations just to put you in some negative mind frame and then project it onto you. You know what I'm saying? Got to be very careful with giving out your data. Just, move in silence, keep yourself a small circle. And even within the small circle, you know what I'm saying? Again, keep things to yourself. You got to talk to somebody, go to God. That's the only way you preserve, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, if you have haters that are orbiting around you, and these haters have proximity to somebody you know, so you could tell somebody something, you know what I'm saying, in confidence. And then this person will get around these haters. And these haters already having negative, nothing but negative things to think about you will influence this person. And this person might even bring up some of the stuff that you said. Oh, well, that's the reason why he's struggling with this, or that's the reason why he's having a problem with that. Listening to what this hater's saying and, divulging the information that you said to him, you know what I mean, to help that hater further push their narrative, because the hater don't like you anyway. Again, you make their butt crack itch. Everything that you do makes them and reminds them of what they should be doing or what they could have been doing. It's the truth, man. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. So, you guys be careful. Again, what I'm saying, move in silence. You guys hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Move in silence. Handle your business. If you got to speak to anybody, go to God. You having any problems, go to God. Things of that nature. And for anything else, I always say outsource it, pay for it. Like, don't ever, I hear people online talking about asking people to help them move. And don't ask anybody to help you move. Either do it yourself or hire some movers. And I'm using that as an example because people really just like having something over you to be able to either use it against you or, you know what I'm saying, call in a favor later on. But most of the time, just to have something to use against you, something to say against you, something to talk about what you're doing in a wrong negative connotation. So, I mean, what I do, and I don't even care how it's viewed, I just do everything myself. I just do everything myself. And this way I don't have to worry about nothing like that. And I'm not using friends to help me with things. They never got to worry about that kind of stuff. They know as a friend of mine or a family member, I'm not going to really come to you for anything, you know what I'm saying, like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to just be trauma dumping or anything like that. You know, just speaking to family members that I actually have contact with and friends, you know what I'm saying, the way I'm supposed to. Just chopping it up with them, having a conversation, not, you know, trauma dumping or getting advice or things of that nature. You know, God's connected to all of us. I just tapped into my connection with God. Pretty much always been that way, but I'm, you know, really focused on my connection with God now. Put everything in his hands. I'm not a gossiper. I don't talk negatively about people, believe it or not. I really don't. I get on here and I do my little thing when I say what I say, in generalities, but I don't talk about people or participate in gossip. That alone will piss people off. If people know they can't gossip to you information they collected from about somebody else, it makes them uncomfortable. It makes their butt crack itch. You gotta smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. And it triggers them to the point where, you know, they need to find some type of way to have information on you. So that way, when others are like, well, this person, I don't really care, but I don't really care for them, but I ain't got nothing to really say about them because I don't really know anything. Seems like they got everything together. And then that person can be like, well, you know, I've talked to them and they blah, blah, blah. So you have to be really careful. And these can be people that you swear up and down are always looking out for you. You never know, man. Just go to God. Just go to God. Like online, for example, a lot of people, oh, I don't know nothing about him. And you know enough about me, and I'll let you know a little bit more when I feel like it. But getting on here and opening up like a bug and showing all my teeth all the time while I'm talking about all of what's going on with me right now, that's not going to never happen. You know what I'm saying? When a man's completely healed on his mission, he ain't going to do stuff like that. He done been through too many things. Loose lips sink ships, man. It's a saying for a reason. You know, so you just keep everything to yourself, move in silence. If this makes people feel like you're just mysterious and, you know, you're keeping secrets, let them feel that way. If it's that big of a concern, they can ask you directly. Otherwise, keep it trucking. You know what I'm saying? So again, even when you are speaking to people, be careful about what you say. And when you do say things, pay attention to the things they say back to you later on, right? If y'all having a conversation in some kind of way, what you said to this person got weaved into current topics and you know, global threats and what's going on in the U.S. and ICE and all this other stuff. If they weaved you into it based off the stuff that you've spoken to them about before, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that because what they have to do is make, because if you're like me, you're nonchalant, so you don't really care about anything that's out of your control. You have no control of it. So why am I worried about Trump or anything? No control of it. You just got to do what you got to do when, you know, your next election come around. And then you look for the positive things that you're getting out of, you know, whatever this president or whatever's doing and not dwelling on all the negative, right? So now this person got people having narratives about you. They be making stuff up. And then they want to some type of way validate the narrative that they've made up about you as far as who they think that your political views are in alignment with or whatever the case may be by collecting data, right? You know, some of these people just, you know, collect data by watching your social media. Some of them directly, you know what I'm saying, be trying to talk to you and you're listening to them and y'all having a conversation. You wonder why they talking about politics. They're trying to collect data to figure out what, you know what I'm saying, side you land on so they can have something to hate on you about, right? To have something that they feel like legitimizes their hate for you. Oh, this person's a Trump supporter. Oh, I knew it was something. These people do all kind of stuff. And I peep game all the time. I catch them. I catch them, man. I catch them. Because you can't bring up something that I've said to you, you know what I'm saying, later on, just because now Trump's doing a bunch of stuff in a certain country. I should never told nobody I was going to South America, right? But by saying I was going there, and then now someone's like, "Oh, hey, Trump's down there right next door to Columbia, invented." Oh, see, now I gave you ammunition to talk shit about what I plan on doing based off of what this man in office is doing. You see what I did there? So I got to step back from that. Okay, okay. Tell you what, well, nobody know where I'm going, and I'm going to start saying a bunch of stuff, saying I'm going any and everywhere. You'll never know where I plan on moving. But see, that's how the devil works. You start talking about your dreams, goals, and ambition. I ain't got nothing to do with how the devil's moving or what Trump got going on. We don't even know. Maybe and again, I know all y'all hate everybody, but you don't know if you make that place a U.S. territory like the Virgin Islands. You don't need a passport to visit it no more. You don't know what's going on. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't make it seem like I'm trying to validate everything that man is doing. I'm just saying I'm not a negative person that dwells on negativity and plays a victim, because there's nothing you can do if the government is completely against you and the world's against you and everybody's against you. But if you're, not aligning yourself with anyone, but just, being an observer and watching the things that are being done positive, and watching the crazy things they're doing, and I'm saying, you stand away from them, there's nothing wrong with that. But talking about it, dwelling on it, having getting mad and investing energy into conversations about a man that don't even know who we are doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not giving them that kind of energy. And when you live like this and you move like this, it bothers people. It pisses them off. They're like, well, why? No, I have things to be doing. I have things to be doing. Things I can control. My work, my entrepreneurship, my workouts, my dieting, my time I spent the time I spent with my son, things of that nature. Like, these things I can control. All the other stuff I can't. And when you're like that, they think that you're just like ignorant. Like you're not knowing of what's going on and the magnitude of it, even though you've been to war twice. You're a whole army veteran, but you're so smooth and so easygoing. People forget that kind of stuff until they want to talk junk about veterans and them needing psychological help or whatever. These people do a lot of things to create narratives, and then they'll forget who they're talking to, and they'll start saying these things to you. Yeah, I've had people forget that I'm a veteran and start talking about veterans. Now, they could be trying to throw shade my way. It's a possibility. But then they start talking about, oh, these veterans come back from war, and these veterans will be doing more than that person. These veterans will be richer than that person. And these veterans will be creating more jobs than that person. But this person's just talking in general about veterans based off of what they've seen the social media and the media saying about them. You have to be able to see this kind of stuff, and this is what I always tell people, because the devil moves like this, man. Very tricky. That saying, don't judge the messenger, right? I see a lot of witches and warlocks that do tarot saying that, so you already know it's in a bad alignment. No, you are supposed to judge the messenger. That scene from 300, when he kicked that Persian, kicked his ass right in that hole, like, ugh. After you look back to this old lady and got the heads up, right? Because your words, what I'm saying, will have consequences to them. Your actions have consequences. If people don't feel like they're being judged by the things that they're saying, they'll say anything to you. Judge that person. Judge him. Judge her. When they saying something off the wall to you that has something to do with something that you said to them that's tied into things that's going on right now, you need to be like, who is talking to me right now? I know you ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? I know you not talking. I know enough about you that, nah, we ain't doing this. Because what they want you to do is get caught up in the nonsense and the rabbit hole they just brought up to you. Right? They took the information you gave them and you gave them and they weaved it into current events. Oh man, they go down there. You sure about that? South America looking, man. Nah, I bet if I'd have said something about still going to Thailand, you had something to say about that too. Okay, bet, I got you. Now, mind you, all the stuff going on here in the States. We're not going to forget about all the stuff. Now, these same people will be talking about ICE and everything they're doing in the States, while also discouraging you from moving around and going overseas. Right? Using the information you gave them, weaponize it to create doubt in your mind, which in my opinion is the original sin. Whoever uttered, are you sure about that? Original sinner, right? So, and this is what they'll do, because, and you have to be able to have discernment, and only a hater will call you delusional for God speaking to you, and you stay in the path no matter what hater online says about you, no matter what other content creators that want to link up and start a smear campaign. Or I done heard that people are doing group chats now. I mean, what kind of grown man is in a group chat with other grown men? You see how weird people are to conspire against someone that has a strong spirit from God. You see what they do? They have to do everything but confront that person directly. Everything. Everything. And when they confront them, they'll never speak the problem they have with that person directly. They're going to speak in code and innuendos and dog whistles and, you know, made up conspiracies that they weave the information you gave them into what's going on with, it's too much, man. It's too much. So the best thing to do, and that's a small example, but I don't really tell nobody nothing. So when I did tell a few people that, and then, a few or one person is like bringing up these crazy scenarios that could happen or woo, 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 but that's not happening based off of me just giving up a little bit too much information. Had I not said nothing about going to South America, whatever Trump's doing on there wouldn't even matter, would it? It wouldn't be a topic of conversation, now would it? Right? And again, it's not really a topic. It's just that person hating, disguising it behind concern. That's not concern. It's not. It's fear mongering. It's fear mongering hidden and cloaked behind, what I'm saying, the seal of I'm just concerned. And, no, 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 no. People will do that. Good religious people do that a lot. They try to go off the fear mongering based off of safety, and I'm just concerned for you. No one asked for it. Okay. And as far as I'm concerned, you might feel like I live a completely reckless life. You're joining the army at 16, but as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't be where I'm at had I not made the decisions that I did based off of what God told me and not what the people around me was telling me, because everybody told me not to do it. I mean, the same place as people that I see. You know what I mean? So instead of being where I'm at right now, making my money passively and doing it since the age of 37, not having to worry about nothing, shoot, currently going to school for free. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the army. So I don't want to hear none of this stuff. But people will hide their limited ways of thinking and their fears behind concern and project it onto you. Like, oh, I'm just concerned. You're fear mongering. You're really fear mongering, because I've already spoke to God about this. Whether you think I have sense enough to know what I'm doing, what based on my history has showed you that I don't have sense enough to know what I'm doing and how to navigate life? Not based off your emotional state right now about me, how you don't like me in the moment, but based off of me and my history over the years, being 41. When have I ever showed you that I've been irresponsibly not able to financially take care of myself and my son? Ever? Never. Okay. So all this stuff that you're talking is just fear mongering. It's just nonsense. It's not based on nothing. You're pulling it out of the thin air to prove your argument. See, when you start getting in depth in conversations like this with people, they don't want to talk to you no more. They don't want to talk to you no more because they wanted to throw a little jab at you and cloak it, but you just called it out for what it was, all the way to the root and the stem of the insecurity from that person. You just told them where their insecurity that they projected onto you came from. Now, you didn't go into detail and call it childhood trauma. You don't know where they got it from. Could have been over the years. But the box you put yourself in from the fear you have of trying new things and stepping outside your comfort zone is the reason why you're projecting onto me what you think I should be doing and what I'm doing wrong. That's why. That's what you're doing. Right? And you're cloaking it behind concern. It's fear mongering. I'm doing things that make you uncomfortable. Even if I'm not doing nothing to you, I'm doing things making you uncomfortable outside of your comfort zones, watching someone do what I do and keep winning at it. So now you got to find a way to try to, take a few jabs at my spirit a little bit, knock me down a peg or two. Nah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. because I see through you. And as long as I can see through people, and because I know when someone's genuinely concerned for me, and let me tell you why. People discredit the fact that I was in the army. They don't care. That's their problem. Being in the army, I've been around a lot of people, a lot of different people. Being a two-time war veteran, I know when people are concerned for their life. I know when people in Iraq or whatever genuinely liked Americans and they weren't just being friendly because of fear. I learned a lot. And what people don't know about me or pay attention to, because I do say it, everything I've done in my life, I use it as a tool in my arsenal. I never forget it. So whatever I learned in the army is part of me right now, and I can dig in my bag whenever I want to and pull it right back out. Okay. And being in Iraq, especially with us being in the military, those people are showing you genuine concern for their life. And when they're showing you appreciation and not fear of their life, you can see that. Now, you juxtapose that to people that are showing you this fake concern, AKA fear mongering. You're like, well, no, I know people that are genuinely trying to speak to me and give me criticism that might be beneficial to my life, like in Iraq when they're telling you, hey, stay from over there and don't go over here, y'all, because they, what I'm saying, these people looking out for us. And they're also speaking positivity to us. That's the big point. Most people that fearmonger is negative concern after negative concern after negative concern. Now you got a pattern. It's like, okay, you know what? You're good, but you're not that good. You can conceal it pretty well with smiling and claiming you're a person of God and woo woo woo, but you're always negative. And honestly, when you're being positive, it seems like you're cosplaying. Because a lot of times these people, pay attention, when you're a genuinely positive person, they're regurgitating things that they've heard other positive people say. They're cosplaying. And what they'll do sometimes is forget that the shit that they're saying and regurgitating is something that you said to them. They'll mess around and say something that you've said to them to tell you, like, hey, you got to be positive, man. You know what I'm saying? Life's a journey, and everything that you've gone through is getting you where you're supposed to be. It's never lost, it's lessons. I told you that. They're saying so much regurgitated stuff. They don't even know who they're regurgitating to at this point, where they got it from. You know what I'm saying? And that's cosplaying. That's fake concern. Someone that it comes from the heart is listening to what you're saying. Because trust me, I got a friend named Moon, and this dude's like a big brother to me. You know what I'm saying? So he's always put me on, and I'll be saying stuff to him, and he's following the story. He'll be like, "Yeah, man, you did good with that. Yeah, yeah." I was like, "Oh, with that, man," and he'll phrase it a certain way, like, because he knows me, right? He knows I don't like being or feeling like disrespect. I don't like no one telling me what to do. So he'll kind of be like, "Hey, you ever thought about blah 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 blah?" And he'll put it in that certain kind of way because of our friendship. He don't want to come across disrespectful. He's putting all this kind of concern in the things that he's saying to me before he says it. So when someone doesn't do that, I'm like, nah, man, you're trying to tell me about myself. You know what I mean? You're trying to fearmonger. You're trying to create doubt. I know when genuine people speak to me, and I know when someone's faking it. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to figure out. I know. You know what I mean? And I think that's what really, what I'm saying, people, they go through life and they don't pay attention to people. I have a photographic memory, and I can see parts of my life like watching a movie. If I want to replay it, it's like watching a movie from third person. And being able to review my life like that allows me to go back and fix what I messed up. Like, oh yeah, I was messed up for doing that. Yeah, yeah, she ran off and she cheated, but what I'm saying, I was building a business and I probably was neglecting her. Not saying it's okay, but definitely wasn't, what I mean, showing her the things I should have being a husband. I was definitely kind of neglecting the love part a little bit. But again, she should have held in there anyway, knowing that it's going to work out. So on her end, she obviously didn't believe in me because she went cheated and woo woo. But on my end, when I started building my business, I've realized that I put a lot into it, and you have to sacrifice a lot. And through this process of doing all the sacrifice, I'm like, oh man, I must have been kind of doing that too towards the end of my marriage, right? So I probably was being kind of neglectful. But that's where conversation comes in. So I'm not giving her no excuses. We're adults. Conversation. Rules of nation, right? Conversation. Tell me about it. What's going on? But when you start going to other people like she did and getting advice, you end up cheating and doing stupid shit like that. But that's another story for another time. But I mean, I just review things. I pay attention to stuff, and this is what I feel like. Fake concern is juxtaposed to fear mongering, and how people will disguise it behind genuine concern. And it's nothing like that. And then you have to judge the person that's saying this to you. That's why when you guys getting these messages from people online, they don't show their face at all ever, or they're only showing their jaw and below. You have to take that with a grain of salt. Even if the message is great, this person is too coward to show their face, and that needs to be taken in consideration before you're just taking that message for gospel. God gave us a face for a reason. You can't just put out content and you're speaking on things and telling people about them, and you never show your face. The level of accepted cowardism in modern times, it's just too much for old school dude like me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just automatically see it. Like, I got to see your face, man. You got to be held accountable for your words by some type of means, at least by showing your face. So it's about judging the person, judging the messenger. Same thing with me. Judge me to the nth degree. Judge me, man. Judge me. If I'm saying things to you, do I look like I should be able to say what I'm saying? If I don't look the part, am I steadily improving though? And are you having to motivate me to improve, or am I doing it on my own because it's the right thing to do? Judge me. And if you can't see that I'm growing, then you're blind and you're deaf. I mean, but you know what? If you can't see the growth, give it some time. Now I'm saying you might be a little bit slow. I'm sorry. If you can't see the growth, just let it play out. All right. I can guarantee you, give it a few years, you're gonna see a big difference from me. You know what I'm saying? Throughout those years. You can look at me a few years ago on YouTube and TikTok. I look like a younger man than I did then, and I was younger then. Ain't that crazy how that is? Your younger self is your older self. You know what I'm saying? That's your old self. But it's your younger self. Anyway, I think about stuff like that. You guys do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button. I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer with my random thoughts and random thinking. But I wanted you guys to think about this because it's just something I have had deep thought on. Now that people see that, money's right and things of that nature. And, I'm just waiting for my lawyers to take care of this custody agreement augmentation. And they're kind of like giving me advice and trying to get me worried about things. And I'm just like paying attention to it. I'm like, well, I'll never really hear y'all say anything positive. I can't listen to you if you never said nothing positive about what I'm doing. You're not invested in my business at all. You don't bring up none of my YouTube videos or YouTube at all. But when it comes to me going overseas, now you have all these concerns. Absolutely not. Fake concern, fear mongering at its best. I want you guys also know to block all peoples that you don't have contact with. Okay. And I know you're gonna feel like it's petty. It's not petty. There's a couple of reasons for this. They're lingering around and hoovering around in your energy. They're only doing it to collect data. They don't like you. You already know that. You don't like them. Do you watch their content? That's the best question. Do you watch anything they post? Or if it's a family member, do you ever go check out their profiles? Do you? No, you don't. Why are they doing it to you? Why are they doing it to you? If they really want to know what's going on, they can reach out to you. Why are they doing that? Block them. Block them. You don't get access outside information, because what happened is, if you don't block these people that know you directly, they will influence the people that you know directly. Like what I just said, I post a lot of stuff about Trump on my TikTok. My haters can be like, oh, he's a MAGA guy, and then run to my actual family members that can't stand Trump and say that stuff to him. And then now I got all this built up animosity. Every time Trump does something, somebody feel the urge to tell me about it because they think I'm a MAGA guy. You see how that affected my life by not blocking a hater that I watch sitting in my suggested, that I know that knows me, that either related to me or an old friend of mine, that I don't look at their content at all. Why are they being suggested? I don't have their phone number. They're watching you, keeping tabs on you. You think that it's not going to affect you. And then all of a sudden, every time some crazy president does something, someone's bringing it up to you like they're trying to tell you something. Why are you telling me this? Why every time this dude, oh, you think I'm a MAGA dude? Oh, okay. Why would you think that? Oh, you're in contact with people that I keep seeing pop up in my suggested on TikTok, where I post up a lot of funny memes about Trump. Okay, okay, okay. Block, block, block. Tired of it, man. I'm tired of it because some people are just older. They don't even know what's going on or what you're posting. But if someone younger brings it up to them, now that older person has concern for you. This could be a parent of yours. This could be somebody super close. It could be auntie of yours. Now these people have fed this person a bunch of negative possibilities and trying to paint a narrative of you and support. Hey, listen, if I'm an army veteran, you should know that I support the position of the president. It don't matter who's in the seat, man. It don't matter who's in the seat. So I'm going to look and see what this person's doing, good for the country and negative. I will have a level-minded critique. But as far as this hate, just solid hate, and calling it something else, no, it's hate. The same way those MAGA guys, they run around with their hate. The hate towards them and that dude is on the same level. It's all the negativity and negative energy needed for the archons to feast. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And if you don't like calling them archons, man, then whatever you want to call them. The ancient energies in this realm that feed off of negativity, that keep manifesting these crazy ass negative scenarios for us to live in. You know, we live in something that seems like a B movie. You know that. You feel like you're living in a Timu movie or something like that, right? And you're like, oh, well, it's because of, it's bigger than what you think. But we don't get into that. I got a whole channel for that. Anyway, you guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree. I will slap a thumbnail on this. These are literally my thoughts that I normally have, and I have them to myself, but I'm going to start opening up a little bit more. Talking to my friend Moon, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start opening up a little bit more and start sharing my thoughts, you know what I mean? Seeing who's in alignment with them, who agrees, who I maybe have showed a little bit or enlightened a little bit with this message that I'm dropping, because a lot of people might not be able to tell the difference. It depends on who it comes from, right? If it seems like somebody that's supposed to be concerned for you, you might take it, you know what I'm saying, and listen to it instead of taking it with a grain of salt. But you have to judge the person and judge the person and what is their history on supporting you and your business ventures or whatever you're doing. Are they in complete support, always showing you support, asking you questions about it, or is it passive or non-existent? You know what I'm saying? Are they passively supporting you and not really bringing anything up, or just non-existent? You know what I'm saying? Because the passive support could just be they don't want to come across like a hater. You know what I mean? Just more cover. You know what I mean? People don't know I think this deeply. And I do this thing where, I show you my softer side, right? Anyone around me, I show you my guard down, chilling, side, and think I'm a fool because I'm not wearing a mask. No, I'm completely here paying attention to you. I'm just not so weak. I need to mask up and be worried about everything you say. No, I'm just gonna take note. And then what I'll do is create boundaries and cut off access from you. That's all I'll do. Because what I've realized and what you guys should realize is that you're valuable. The fact that these haters got to try to influence what you do and try to create doubt shows you the level of influence you have over them, how important you are to them, because you don't give a shit about what anybody does. I never have anything to say about what anyone else is doing. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You live your life. If I can look at you and you look kind of healthy, even if you didn't look healthy, it's none of my business. I don't care. No offense and no disrespect. I don't care. I don't care enough to tell you about yourself. Now, if you say, hey, David, what should I do as far as weight loss? All right, you're a mess. Hey, this is well, from looking at you. Let's start with a calorie deficit. You know what I mean? Are you lifting weights yet? Let's start walking. You know what I mean? Are you drinking water? Things of that nature. Start there. But I'm not going to be thinking of nothing and worrying about other people and their business when there's all this stuff going on in the world. And I love my life and I got things going on. I don't gossip. I don't worry about no one else. So I don't have anything to say to no one as far as trying to cleverly tell them about themselves. I don't have that in me. So what people think is I'm like them. So I wouldn't notice it. I'm not like that. So I automatically get triggered. My spidey sense goes off. Like, is this person a hater? Is this person trying to create doubt? Because that's not how I, speak to God. That's how I talk to myself. That's not how I, talk to or allow people that are in my circle to talk to me. You're not going to create doubt. We're not negative over here. If you done said a couple negative things in a row, you got to go. What are you doing? You're literally manifesting in your mind negativity, and you're speaking it in existence through your mouth. And you're doing it in proximity of us. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. They'll when you let someone be around you create negativity, and I always got something negative to say, in your proximity, in your field of positivity, what's that going to do? It's going to lower your vibration. Because you're going to start questioning whatever you're doing. That's the whole point. That's why the devil's using them. Right? So again, judge the messenger. Judge the messenger. You know what I'm saying? This person giving you good wisdom? Is it coming from a good place? Does it seem like they're operating in high vibrational positive energy on a regular basis? Or are they online being negative all the time? Or in real life, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Are they being negative all the time? Oh, I got something. What I mean by being negative, this is what I mean, okay? Real quick before I go, you guys hit that like button. When I say cosplaying positivity, here it goes. When someone is passionate about whatever they're doing and whatever they are, you hear the passion in their voice, and they can go on and on about it. If they're a positive person, they're going to go on and on about positivity and have plenty of things to say about being positive, how to get back to being positive, things of that nature. When they're negative, they're going to go on and on about negative things, and they're going to get more and more passionate while they're talking about this negative stuff. It's almost disgusting how you can see that they're charging up off of this negative crap they're talking about with no solution at the end, just negativity, negativity, no solution, right? And then that same person, how you know that they're a negative person, real quick before I go hit the like button, is when they talk about positive stuff, is the cosplaying comes in. It's real quick. It's real quick. It's short. The look on their face don't even seem convincing. And it seemed like something you don't heard a million times before on TikTok or on a meme, or hell, sometimes it'll be something that you've said. They're regurgitating it to you like you ain't said it. They don't know where they got it from. They're just picking up stuff wherever they can to make it seem like they're positive. They're not positive like that, man. That's what it is. That's it. That's all. That's the easiest way to tell. I'm positive. I'm always going to be talking about how to be positive, be a better version. Da, 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 da. People online that are negative are always on these gossip videos, making a bunch of reaction videos, dwelling on them for hours, you know, online complaining about something for hours and hours, just stuff like it's craziness. You're not a real genuine positive person. You feed too much off negativity. Real positive people are drained from negativity. That's why we guard our energy so fiercely. Y'all be calling me strict. No, I just guard my energy because negativity drains. Like, if someone's being negative around me and like they're like going off about Trump and they're like really getting into it, I feel my energy being pulled. I feel it. I literally feel it. Like, this fool is pulling my energy from me to talk about this man that we have nothing to do with, that we can't change his mind on nothing. And I get away from him. I run. I get away from him, man. People mess your energy up and won't even be knowing it. If you're around a bunch of negativity and you're a positive person, you're going to feel that way. When that negative stuff is being said, you're going to feel like somebody's draining their life, like your life's being drained from you. And if you notice, that negative person will be, amping up. They're charging off the energy that you're allowing to drain from you being in their proximity. Because negative energy needs positivity around to feed off of. Positivity, it gets energy from itself. I wouldn't lie to you, man. I wouldn't lie to you. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I gotta get ready to go live from the desk. I just got through working out. That's why I'm short of breath. But gonna make things pop, make things happen. But I want to get on here and rant and just, what I'm saying, talk to you guys more. I'm not trying to be on here being mysterious on purpose. I'm a very private person, but I'm building a tribe, right? And my thing about it is, I'm trying to not give my haters too much. like content creators that be stealing from me. But then I got to remember I still got a soul tribe out here that rock with me. So, you know, I'm staying on that positive side of things. So appreciate y'all. I'll put a thumbnail up, you guys, before I go. It's gonna, what channel am I on? Yeah, it's gonna probably be one of those thumbnails with one of the ladies on it. One of the ladies. Yeah. So, you know, I'll put a thumbnail up. I appreciate y'all joining me. You guys drop a comment. Do you agree or disagree? But that's just my observation, what I've noticed. And that's the best way I can, you know, break it down, articulate, you know, what it seems to me, genuine, positive people versus negative people cosplaying. Really. Anyway, y'all, hit that like button. Love and light. I'm your brother and I'm out.
It's on you. Hey, hold on. Bitch, be quiet. Lot of niggas fake, so I'm moving in silence.